everyone. Welcome to Swiflearn Life classes. And who am I? My name is Harneet, and I am your maths instructor, teacher at the Swiflearn platform. So I warmly welcome you all and hope you all are safe and staying in your own house, right? No one is going out. It's not allowed. Yeah. Okay. So everyone, welcome once again to the Swiflearn Life classes. So before starting the topic and starting learning, let me tell you something about Swiflearn. What is Swiflearn? Swiflearn is a company that teaches students from classes 3rd to 10th. So what do? We teach students. So how do we teach? See, it's an online platform. Okay. So you are sitting in front of the other laptop or mobile. Yes, it's possible with mobile also. Yeah, you just need a handset with a little bit of Wi-Fi connection. Okay, so you're able to connect us. We are able to connect you. How? See, the classes are 100% live. So it is an interactive classes. So we both keep on talking. So we'll talk in the class. It's not a boring lecture, right? Okay. And the most important thing which I like about the company is that we only teach maximum 6 students at a time. So we are able to give you personalized attention to each and every batch and each and every student. So teacher, as I am there to teach you, I am able to teach you very quickly and easily because I know where you are stuck and I can directly stop you there and then and teach you, right? The third thing is that there is a dedicated academic team. So what does this team do? They track all your records. So everything is tracked. Your classwork, your class performance, your homework, which we give you. So each and everything is tracked and that is given as a feedback to your parents and you can also see it. So exactly what's happening is that you know from where did you start it and where are you landing. I'm very sure the graph will go like this. You will bloom. I'm very sure about it. And moreover, the best part is that it is not that what we want will teach you. It is all the syllabus is covered, which is there in your textbooks. And if you want a customized handouts, if you want something, some handouts, some requests is there that a topic has to be repeated again, that is also covered with us. So will these all points not make Swiflearn a company of the India's most sincere? Yes, because we are taking each and every care. We are thinking about how to improve your education, your qualification, your knowledge, right? So we are trying our level best to teach you in the best way possible. Okay. And our key features are, see, I already mentioned that there is a report, there is a graph that shows that from when you joined, you were at this stage. You did not know these things, or maybe you know the most of the things, right? And now, gradually and slowly, when the classes are going on, you are able to understand more and the depth, the knowledge. It's not just like we give you the formulas, like I'll talk about maths. It's not like we're giving you just formulas, okay? Learn the formulas, do it. No, why is that formula being invented? How was it done? So each and every minor detail of the topic is also cleared in this session, which we teach with you, okay? Now, another thing is Swiflearn Academic Test Series. It's called SATs. So it's a SATs which is going on almost on every Sundays on an international platform, on a national platform. And we invite students, different students to attend this exam. So what happens is you know exactly where do you stand. So what knowledge you have, how much have you gathered, and how much have you learned. So that is practically visible to everyone. Okay. Moreover, we take unlimited practice tests. So there are a lot of practice tests given to you. So you don't need to worry that from where should I get the material? What should I do? I'm over with my textbook questions. Now what should I do? No, we'll give you so many question papers to practice. And you will only say, ma'am, I've done it. Now I know it. Okay. Then only we'll stop. Otherwise we will not until unless you are satisfied. And the last thing is there is a subjective test. So subjective test is very important according to me, especially in the subject of mathematics. Why? See, we all know that when we solve a question, each and every step has its points, right? It has it, right? So each and every steps have some points with it. So marks are given according to the steps, not the direct answer. So to check where you are making the mistake in the steps, that is also important, right? It's important now. So that's why the subjective test for the school exam preparation is also done by this. And we are able to teach you on an online platform. So if hope you think that these all the points are good and we are doing something great, so kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel named Swiflearn and press on the bell icon so that you don't miss any more further classes. And Harneet Ma'am class especially. I'm teaching you with all my hearts, right? So hope to see you. All right. So let me see who else is there with us today. Who all are there? Let's see. Yeah. Who all are there? Let everybody join in and we'll start the topic. So welcome once again to the class. And what's the topic? What are we going to study today? What is the topic? The topic is mensuration. What is mensuration? What is menstruation? Yeah, anybody knows it? Hmm? Okay, so I'll tell you what is mensuration. Actually, mensuration is nothing. It's a Latin name. It is derived from the word, it's a Latin name, okay? It meaning of this in Latin says that it measures is known as measurement, okay? So mensuration has come from measurement. I'm so sorry. Yeah, measure. So what we are doing is we have to measure things. Easy with the name, right? So, but what do we have to measure? So today we will learn and understand the topic that what is area, what is perimeter, how do we calculate perimeter of a square and a rectangle. So there are two geometrical shapes, square and rectangle, that we will be talking about, and how do we understand and know what is area and what is a perimeter. So how to differentiate between these two. This is what the main confusion is, right? Everyone is confused. Ma'am, we don't understand what is area, what is perimeter. It's so much confusing. By reading the word problems, we are not able to understand what the question is asking. Is it asking the area or it's asking the perimeter? So relax. After this session, I'm pretty sure you'll understand what is area and what is a perimeter. So good to go, everybody. Let's start. Gives a thumbs up. Yeah? Okay, let's start. Before directly going to the topic, let's do some activity. So what does it say? That you have to join these 4 dots. So 1 dot, 2, 3, 4. So instruction, there are some instructions to follow. They say that use only straight lines. Okay, so we cannot use the diagonal lines, right? We have to use a straight line, and diagonals are not allowed. So I cannot make something like this. I'll tell you how. See, I cannot make a line diagonally. Okay, I cannot make this. This is not allowed. This is what the instruction is saying. Okay, so how to proceed? I have to make only straight lines. So I cannot go this way. I cannot go this way. So I'm only left with joining these 2 dots. Coming this way, going this way down. Then joining it this way and coming up. So what have I done? I have joined the 4 dots, and that also the straight lines. They are not the curvy lines. They are not something like this, right? No. This is not allowed. So that has to be a straight line. So let me erase it. Okay. So now when I've drawn this, what have I made? What figure have I made? It's a 4 sides figure. Okay. We have made 4 lines. That means there are 4 sides. And these 4 sides are closed. See, it's a closed figure. First, the most important thing is it is a closed figure. So all the 4 points are meeting to by the lines, and they are making a compact, a square figure. So what do we call this? This is called a square closed figure. So always a square is a closed figure. So I cannot go anywhere out. Can I come out? Can I go inside? Is there any way I can come in this side from this? I'm standing here. Suppose I'm standing here. Okay. So I have to go inside. Can I go? Suppose it's a big wall. Can I go inside? No, right? I need a door, or I need to break this. So that's why we call it, it is a closed figure. So I cannot go inside this. Okay. All right. So I hope now you know why do we say a figure something as closed and open. So this is what we made. We got this square. Okay. Then what happens if we got this square? Then see, what do we see is that we also get this square. So there are two squares. What is happening is I can get it by moving from this direction. That is called it anti-clockwise, going from here, starting from this point, going this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And the other ways, even if I start from this point, I'll go in the right hand side. Okay. So it comes out to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So in both the ways, I'm getting a square only. If there is no other way, I'm able to join these lines, these dots with the help of a line. So what have I made? I have made a square with a closed figure, I want to say. Okay. So let's take another example. Suppose we have a drawing competition in a school and everyone is giving a white sheet and a colors to us. So that happens. There is a competition at a school. We all sit down, spread our sheets, right? Take colors and start drawing something. So before we start drawing, the first step, what do? We always make a boundary line, like something like a corners. We make a boundary line. If you have to make a birthday card also, then also we do that. So now before starting drawing, we put a boundary line on the sheets. So what actually are we doing? We are making an outline, in a form outline of the sheet. So what is the outline called? So what does this boundary represent? This boundary represents nothing else less than its perimeter. So what have we done? Just knowing that what is on the corner and making an outline of it, we are able to know that this is called a perimeter. The lines that we have made, that is called the perimeter. So the perimeter is the total length of the boundaries of a closed figure. See, it's a rectangle. How do we know differentiate between square and rectangle? That we have already studied. But if you want, I'll tell you in the further going classes. I'll teach you that also, okay? But the thing is, we all know that this is a rectangle and it is a closed figure, right? And all the total length is known as its boundaries. So perimeter. Perimeter is the total length of the boundaries of a closed figure. Still not clear? So I'll give you an example, okay? Suppose whichever figure is given to you. Suppose it's given a rectangle here, but let be any figure that I'll tell you later. I'll draw it and tell it to you. But right now, always imagine that you are standing on one of the corner. Always imagine that. Okay. Suppose I'm standing here. Let me make a small boy or a girl, whatever you want to, that he's standing here. Okay. Now imagine this whole thing as a park, a garden in which you go on a walk. So what is happening is when a person says, okay, take a walk of the whole ground. So what do? Do you move inside the garden? Do you move here? No, right? When the teacher says that take a round of a playground in your school. So do you start moving inside the playground? No. What do? You move from the corners and you keep on going. And the moment you are at the corner, what happens? What happens when you are on the corner? You will move to the right hand side, right? You'll turn and move this way. Right. Now you're again at the corner. You'll turn and move this way. So just imagine as if you are moving on the boundaries. And this is like here. Now you'll move this way, this way, this way, and coming back to this point. So what's happening is you're moving the whole boundaries of the rectangle and coming to that point. You're making just one whole round of that shape what is given to you. So exactly what is given to you, when you take whole round of it, that is called the perimeter. Simple as that. So you're not going inside, right? You're not playing inside. You're just taking the outer boundary around. That is called a perimeter. Okay. So everybody, you can comment if you're there with me. Give me a thumbs up. And if you like what I'm teaching and you're understanding, give a thumbs up and a like, please. Okay. So hence the boundary line shows the perimeter of a paper sheet. So it shows the perimeter of a paper sheet. Yeah. So now we know what is the perimeter. Perimeter is just nothing but only the outline. Now there are two students which were told to take a ground round. So take a ground. There's a ground which is there in a rectangular form. All right. So two students are asked to walk on a path that measures the perimeter of the ground. There's one, it's already mentioned now that you have to take a round of a ground in form of knowing its perimeter. So there's a first child who takes around something like this. So he starts, suppose starts from here, goes down, moves from the corner, and then takes a shortcut. Yeah, he takes a shortcut and come back to that same point. Okay. What happens to the next person? The next person takes a round like this. So second student, what does he do? Starts from here, or maybe the same point. They started from the same point. He went down, then took a right turn, then again a right turn, then again a right turn, and he's back to the same point. So who did exactly what the perimeter says? The first student or the second? Yeah, tell me. Who did exactly the same what is asked in the question, the first one or the second student? Who did good? The first one or the second one? Yes, tell me. Who did good? The second student, right? So which student followed the correct path to measure the perimeter? The student's second was correct because we want to know the boundaries. We cannot take a shortcut. We cannot cut inside. We cannot go inside the field. We have to just move around on the corners. Clear? Yeah. Okay. So how can we measure the perimeter of any closed shape of a given length? So how do we calculate? It can be any shape. This time I've only taught you rectangle. It can be a square. It can be a triangle. There are multiple of shapes. So we all know the shapes. Let's revise that shapes first. So the closed shapes are named according to their number of sides, right? So the shape which has 3 sides, we call it a triangle. The shape which has 4 sides, we call it a quadrilateral. We call it a quadrilateral. And in quadrilateral, we make two things, a rectangle and a square, because they both have 4 sides. Clear? Okay. And what do we say to a shape which has 5 sides? Yeah. What do we call it? To a shape which has 5 sides. We call it pentagon. See, we write it with a pen. Penta. Penta stands for 5. So we call it pentagon. How about 6? Do you remember we have studied this before? Yeah, we used to study in the 4th, 5th grade also. So 6 is called hexagon. Right. How about 7? What do we call it for 7-shaped figure? Closed figure which has 7 sides. 7 sides figure. Yeah, what do we call it? Hello, Devanshi. Yeah, welcome to the class. Yes, tell me, Devanshi, do you know what do we call a geometrical figure which has 7 sides, which is a closed and has 7 sides? So 7 stands for heptagon. We call it heptagon. 8 is very easy. How about 8? We all know an animal which has 8 legs. So we can relate it to that. Which is an animal which has 8 legs? Octopus. So from that octo, that stands for 8. So we call it octagon. Right. How about for 9? 9 sides, we call it nonagon. Nonagon. Okay. How about 10? 10 stands for deca and we call it decagon. So 3 for triangle, 4 for quadrilateral, 5 for pentagon, 6 for hexagon, 7 for heptagon, 8 for octagon, 9 for nonagon, and 10 for decagon. All right. Okay. So now we all know, let's measure a perimeter of this closed shape. So this is a shape. Okay. And we have to add the measuring of all the sides to find the perimeter of the shape. We all know to find the perimeter. Yeah, very good, Devanshi. Lovely. Octagon, decagon. Lovely. All right, well done. So add the measuring. Now you have to find the perimeter of this closed shape. So a shape is given to you and the measurement of each side of its shape is also given to you, right? It's given that this is 5 centimeter, this is 6 centimeter, this side being the longest one is 9 centimeter, this being the 3 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 3 centimeter. So you have to, what you have to do is add. Why do we need to add this? Because that is what the perimeter is. To know the perimeter, we have to know what its boundaries are, right? So what do we have to do? We have to add these sides length. So what we will do, we'll start from a point. Just imagine that you're standing on one point, just like a garden. So let me imagine that I'm standing here. So I'll move this way. That means I'll cover 5 centimeters. Then I'll move this way. I'll cover 6 centimeters. So 5 plus 6 comes out to be 11. Okay, so rest, you will give me the answer finally, okay? Then after this, I'll move this way. That comes out to be 9 centimeter. So whatever I have added, yeah, Devanshi, 30. That was quick. Let's see. Then after coming to this point, I'll take a turn, move this way, 3 centimeter. And then, okay, Karnav says 35. Let's see. And then I'll move this way 4 centimeter, then this way 3 centimeter. And finally, I reach to one point. So this whole circle, the whole round, it's not circle, sorry, the whole round of the boundaries that we are taking, just one, is known as a perimeter. So when we add this, what do we get? Let's see, what do we get while adding this? So by adding 5 plus 6 plus 9 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 comes out to be 30. Okay, Devanshi, well done. That was a 30 was the right answer. So that we have added, this is known as the perimeter of that shape. That's it, pretty easy. So let's do some questions based on this. Right. So before starting, let me tell you two things. Let's find the perimeter of some common shapes. So finally, we are moving on to two shapes. This one shape, which is known as a, what is this shape known? A bigger side, a smaller side, and the opposite sides are equal. When we compare this, what do we call the shape? What do we call the shape? Let's find the perimeter of some common shapes. So there are two shapes drawn on the screen. And you have to tell me what is this shape called. So when we know that this side is equal to the lower one and this side on the right hand side is equal to the left hand side. So what do we call it? We call it a rectangle. Good, Karnav. We call it a rectangle. Whereas on this side, when all the four sides are equal, we call it a square. We call it a square. Yeah. So what is a square? See, the difference between both the things, and to know the perimeter, we have to know the shape so that we can directly derive a formula because we know the uniqueness of that picture or that shape. So we know the uniqueness that a square has all four sides equal, right? So it has four sides. Every time whenever we talk about a square, it's understood that these 2 points will always be there. It will be has four sides. And the next thing is that all the sides will be equal in length. So let's derive the formula. How do we make a formula or a quicker way or an easier way to solve those questions? How do we do it? See, let me say the side is A. It can be any number. So we just take an alphabet. Yeah. So take a side A. Second is also A. Third is also A. Fourth will be also A because the four sides are all equal. So the perimeter of a square is A plus A plus A plus A. That when we add A 4 times comes out to be 4A. So we can say that the perimeter of a square is 4 into the length of one side. So 4 into side. Clear? All right. Now moving on to the next one. So what is a rectangle? Rectangle is a geometrical figure which has the opposite sides equal. And one side is a bigger than the other two sides, right? So suppose we call this, we always say a length and a breadth, right? This we all know. So let's say length as L and breadth as B. So a rectangle has four sides and the opposite sides are equal. So the perimeter of a rectangle is L plus L because we need to add two lengths and two breadths. So two lengths plus two breadths. So that comes out to be two lengths plus two breadths. Now I'll take two as a common number and I'll put in the bracket length plus breadth. So whenever I need to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle, what do? I'll just add the value of the length of one side, the breadth, and just add it. And whatever I get, I'll multiply it by 2. So easy. But rather than if other way I would have to do, I have to add it 4 terms. 2 times length, 2 times breadth. So to make it more simplified, let me add length and breadth together and then multiply it by 2. So this is what the formula has been derived by its properties. Okay, so we have done two formulas. One is perimeter of a square that says that we have to multiply 4 into the sides. Okay, second is the perimeter of a rectangle that says we have to multiply 2 by the sum by adding length and breadth. That's it. Okay, now let's solve this. So find the perimeter of the following shapes. So this is a shape given to you and I need to find the perimeter of the shape. Okay, how do we begin? Similarly, the same way, imagine that you are standing on this. So you're moving one side, two side, three side. I'll draw it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a geometrical figure which has 6 sides. 6 sides. What do we call a picture which has a fish figure which has 6 sides? We call it a hexagon, right? Okay. So I know I have to add 4 plus 4 plus 4. How many times do I need to add this? 6 times. This is what it says. Yeah. So directly I can say by repeatedly addition means multiplication and I'll multiply 6 into 4. So what do I get? 6 fours are 24 centimeters. So this is the answer. Clear? Great. Yeah. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. It says, let's solve this figure. We know this is a rectangle now. So find the perimeter of the following rectangular figure. So we have to know the perimeter of this rectangular figure. What does it say? How do we calculate? The perimeter of a rectangular figure is calculated by 2 into length plus breadth. This is a formula that we have studied. So what is the length? I know this length is 9 centimeter because length is always greater than breadth and breadth is 4 centimeter. So the opposite one is 9 centimeter. This is 4 centimeter, right? Okay. So let me do that. Solve it. How will I do? First, I need to put the values in the formula. So I'll put 2 into length is 9 plus breadth is 4 centimeter. So on solving this, it comes out to be 2 into 13 centimeter. Great, Karna. 2 into 13. So when I solve this, I come out to be 26 centimeter. So this is the answer. Well done. Okay. Now I know that Karnav have understood what I'm teaching today. Yes, Karnav? Yeah? Okay. So let's start. Let's solve the other figure. So now you have to tell me the answer. Let's be a little quicker now. We know this, how to solve it, right? Find the perimeter of the following square. So we know what is the formula to calculate the perimeter of a square. What does it say? It says the perimeter of a square is calculated when we multiply it with 4, right? So it says 4 into the sides. So perimeter of a square, it's 4 into the side, one side, length of one side, right? I can say it like this also. I'm so sorry. I'll use a red color that's not coming up. Okay. Yeah. So we'll say length of one side. So that comes out to be 4 into one side is 5. So I'll write 5 and 4 fives are 20 centimeter. So I got the answer as 20 centimeter. Okay. So now you know it's easy. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Let's see. Let's solve. Find the perimeter of a regular hexagon. So it's already saying it's a hexagon with each side measuring 8 meters. So it's a hexagon and each side measures 8 meters. So how do we find the perimeter? How do we do it? Do I know what is a hexagon? Yeah. I know what are the sides or how many sides are there in a hexagon. Yes. Yes, I know. A regular hexagon has 6 sides. Right. This is what I know. Okay. I know 6 sides and each side is 8 meters long. Each side is 8 meters long. So to know the perimeter, what I'll do is I'll multiply 6 into its length of the side. Length of the side is 8. I'll multiply 6 into it. How do I get this directly? Even if you're not able to understand how do we get it, let's imagine, okay, there are 6 sides and each side is 8 centimeter, 8 meter. So I need to add 8 how many times? 6 times. So I'll write 8 plus 8 plus 8. 3 times I've already written 4, 5 and 6. This is what will be the perimeter of a hexagon. So now when I'm adding 8, 6 times, I can directly say the perimeter will be 6 into 8. Yeah, which comes out to be 48 meter because the unit here given is meter. So I need the answer in meter only. Clear? Yeah, so the unit is also very important. You cannot say it's centimeter, it's meter. So the answer has to be also in meter. Okay. Well done. I hope now you're able to solve it, these questions. Let's move to the next question. Find the side of a square whose perimeter is 20 meters. So square, now I know, and I know the perimeter and I need to find the side. Now the question is other way around. Earlier what we used to do, we used to calculate the perimeter. Right, we used to know what is the perimeter. We used to calculate that. But now what do we have to do? We have to find the side and the perimeter is given to us. So how to do that? Simple. Put those values in the formula itself. That's it. There's nothing different we are doing it here. The same thing what we have done, we'll do the same thing. So what does it say? That the perimeter. I know the perimeter is equals to 20 meters, right? Now, and to find the side, I need to find the side of a square. So I already know that the square has 4 sides, right? So I need to calculate the side length of each side. So how do I do it? So I know perimeter, the formula is 4 into side, right? So to calculate side, what do I do? What is the process to calculate side? I know when 4 is getting multiplied over here and I bring it on the other side, I'll just reverse the operation, mathematical operation. So right now it's getting multiplied on the right hand side. The moment it will go on the left hand side, it will get divided, right? So I'll able to know the formula that to calculate this side, it has to be the perimeter divided by 4 in case of a square. That will be always there. So what is the perimeter? It is 20. When 20 is divided by 5, divided by 4. So what do I get? I get a 5 meter as a answer. Meter, why? Because the answer is given me into meters. So by solving this, we have derived one more formula that says to calculate the side of a square. And when a perimeter is given to us, so we'll write perimeter divided by 4. So this is the formula by which we are able to know what will be the side of a square. Clear? Yeah? Okay, let's do the other one. Now, I've given you the formula also directly. You can do it. And you need to tell me the answer for the second one. Give it a shot. Try it on yourself with all your brains. Put it on it and try it. Otherwise, I'll teach you. Not a problem. Okay? So before doing that, let me read a question for you. It says, a piece of a string is 60 centimeter long. What will be the length of each side if the string is used to make a form of a square? So again, we are making a square and the piece of the string is 60 centimeter long. So if I know how long is it, means I know maximum what can be there, means I know the perimeter what will be there. So if I did a string, I try to convert it into square, so the length will remain the same. The sum of all the sides will be same. That cannot be changed, right? So I know in this question, the perimeter is equals to 60 centimeter. And I'm making a square and I need to calculate the length of each side. Okay, give it a shot. Try it once. I'm waiting for your answer. Try it. Yeah, you can do it. Give it a shot. Yes. Okay. Great. So you have done it. Now let's see what's the answer. The perimeter is 60 centimeter, right? I know to calculate the length of the side. What do? I'll write perimeter divided by 4. This we have already done in the previous question. So simple as that, I'll divide 60 by 4. So when I divide this, I get the answer as 15 centimeter. I'll write the answer in the unit, the same unit which is given in the question. So answer is 15 centimeter. Well done who have done it yourself, and the others who are still trying to solve it. I understand. We'll keep on practicing, okay? I hope everyone has understanding what I'm teaching. Yeah? Okay, let's find this question. It says, find the cost of fencing a square park. So it's already, see, this question is saying, telling me that's the square. That means that 4 sides, that's understood, and all the 4 sides are equal. Okay. And the side, one side is given. That means the other 3 will be same because it's a square. So I know the 4 sides also. And it says that the cost of fencing a square park of side 250 meters at the rate of 20 per meter. So now what it's saying is this is a practical question what we do in our day-to-day lives. Suppose we want to get a wall painted in the house. So when we call a painter, we tell him, okay, paint these 4 walls. He says, okay, I'll do it. But the cost of this much square feet is this much charges. So if I know that he's telling me in the form of square feet or per meter or something, some other unit, which I don't know. So know that, how will I know it? How will I do it is the way we do in these questions. So we'll find the perimeter, we'll add the boundaries, we'll add the length of the 4 walls, and then do it. What we'll do? We'll multiply with that rate because it's saying per. That means he's telling me 1 meter rate is this much. And how many meters are my walls? So I'll multiply with that and exactly what much am I need to pay to that painter or the fencer. So this is what the practically questions which we use. This is actually done in our day-to-day lives. So to find the cost of fencing, fencing is a park, we put a fences. So the person who comes to put the fences, he says that per meter length of putting it is 20. I'll take 20 rupees per meter fencing it. But then how do I know how much long is it? So for that, to know all the 4 sides, I need to add it. So exactly what do I want to know? I want to know the perimeter of the square park. Okay, so how do I calculate the perimeter? Perimeter is 4 into the side. That is a formula. So 4 into 250. So 4 into 250, when I solve, I get the answer as 1000 meter. So I know my park's whole perimeter is 1000 meter. And it says the rate at which the person who's fencing, he says that I'll charge 20 rupees per meter. So I know the cost of 1 meter is equals to rupees 20. So I have total 1000 meters. So I'll say the cost of 1000 meters is equals to 20 into 1000. This is pretty easy, right? So when I solve, I know there are 4 zeros. So 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, there are only 4 zeros. So I made one extra. I'm so sorry. So I'll write here meters. So that comes out to be 20,000 meters, right? So 20 when multiplied by 1000, there are 3 zeros. This C come here. This one comes here. 2 into 1 is 2. So 20,000 meters is the cost. So I want to know that this is cost is, we are calculating the cost. The unit will be rupees only. So rupees 20,000 I have to pay for the total of 1000 meter. Clear? Right? So till now, when we need to calculate the perimeter, we were calculating in meters. And when we need to calculate the cost is calculated in rupees. So the answer will be left in rupees. So rupees 20,000 is the amount that I need to pay to the fencer. Okay. Now let's see how to proceed with the next one. Find the cost of fencing of a rectangular park with the length 175 meter and breadth 125 meter at the rate of 12 per meter. So I know the length is 175 meter. I know the breadth is 125 meter. I want to know the cost. That means that is the question asking. So our answer will be in rupees. And it's saying that will cost 12 rupees per meter. Okay. So before that, I need to know the perimeter. So let's solve it once and tell me the perimeter of this rectangular park. The perimeter of a rectangular park is calculated by 2 into length plus breadth. Well done. So I know, let me put these values inside. So I'll put 2 into what is the length? 175 plus what is the breadth? 125. So when I add this, comes out to be 5 plus 5, 10, 1 carry, 7 plus 2, 9 plus 1, 10, and 1 carry, that comes out to be 300. So 2 into 3 comes out to be 600 meter. Remember, this is in meters. So answer will also be, the perimeter will be in meters. Now I know the perimeter. Can I calculate the cost? Can I calculate how much I need to pay? Yeah. Okay. I need to pay at the rate of 12 per meter. So the cost of 1 meter is equals to rupees 12, right? So the cost of 600 meters will be equal to 12 into 600. So that comes out to be 7,200 rupees. So I need to pay 7,200 rupees to the fencer to fence those rectangular park with the same length which is given in the question. So I hope now you're able to solve this. Yeah. So it's pretty easy. When I need to know the cost, what I have to do, the first step is to calculate the perimeter. Now, when I've calculated the perimeter and the question is giving me that the cost of 1 meter or 1 centimeter fencing or painting the walls, these are the questions that comes, right? Or putting on the boundaries is this much amount. So I know the value of 1 meter. So with that, I know what is the total perimeter. I know the value of 1 meter. I can multiply accordingly and I can pay to the person. So it's pretty easy. I hope now the perimeter topic is clear to you. You know exactly what is a perimeter. Yeah. So what have we learned so far? What have we done? So we have introduced you, I've taught you how to do what is perimeter. The perimeter is a length of the boundaries. Just imagine I'm in a park, moving on the corners, that's it. And at those sides, that comes out to be the perimeter. The second is how to calculate the perimeter of a square. That is, perimeter of a square is 2 times the sum of length plus breadth, right? Okay, and how to calculate the perimeter of a square? Pretty easy. The square has all the 4 sides equal, so I'll just multiply 4 into length of one side. And we have solved a couple of questions today. Yeah? So by doing this, I hope you have understood the topic and you know what perimeter is and how to solve the questions of perimeter. Thank you so much for being with me and understanding the topic well. I hope you have solved all your questions in the textbook. You'll able to solve it also. And all the minor doubts which you had, I'm able to clear that. So if you like it, if you like my teaching and you want to continue this session in the next time, so please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon so that you never miss an update and you can come back to the next session where we'll understand and I'll teach you what is area so that now you will able to differentiate what is a perimeter, what is an area and how do we do the topic mensuration. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for being there. And I hope you all subscribe to the channel and just visit once the Swiflearn company. See, this is an online platform. We are interacting. You are giving me the answers in the chat box. That's not a problem. But still, there can be some doubts which you think is there a genuine one. And I'm not able to know it because you're not able to type that whole thing in the chat box, right? So to solve that, you have to join the class. And moreover, it's online. First is a trial class, right? It's free of cost. Why not try it once? If you like it, you join us. Yeah. Okay. Hope to see you next class. Yeah, everybody. Okay. Thank you so much for being with me there.